Let's go back to our top story. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's visit to Pearl Harbor. I'm joined now by Jia Xiudong. He's a senior research fellow at the China Institute of International Studies. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, Japan and the United States say that they are putting 75 years of resentment behind them. But countries that Japan invaded, including China, do not see it that way. Why is that?
Well, right. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has never formally apologized for the atrocities Japan committed during the Second World War. But when Abe visited the Pearl Harbor, he would like to show to the United States and the world that, well, Japan has achieved reconciliation with the United States and over the aggression of Japan. But the question is, that is not the case. Japan has not really achieved reconciliation with its neighbors, especially China and Korea.
And, you know, Japan did not officially apologize to the United States as well. There was a lot of words, but not an official apology. Give us some context. Talk to us about the painful legacy of war for China and South Korea.
Well, actually, you know, in the past, previous Japanese administrations have expressed some form of apology to its neighbors over the atrocities Japan committed during the Second World War. But the question is, you know, there have been very strong political forces, especially right-wing conservative forces, which insist that they will not apologize for anything Japan did during the Second World War, and so they have refused to do it. Actually, they have tried, including Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, they have tried to sugarcoat the aggression of Japan. So also, Japanese senior officials have repeatedly made some statements to the fact that they do not actually accept responsibility of Japan's aggression. So that is a huge problem for China and Korea and those victims of Japan's atrocities.
So what's been said before has not ever been enough. What exactly will it take to bring full reconciliation?
Well, China and the people in China or Korea, they do not insist on apology. And when the Japanese politicians express some form of repentancy and apology, actually people in China and Korea think that, well, that helps the relations between between Japan and its neighbors. People here in China are quite aware that China and Japan have shared interests in regional peace and stability and prosperity. They have a lot of things to do together to promote the common interests and well-beings of the peoples of the two countries and the region. However, those who favor not to apologize to the Japan's atrocities, who try who take a kind of revisionist view of history, tend to make the relationship between Japan and its neighbors very difficult.
Let's go back to Pearl Harbor. Beijing says the notion that Japan could settle accounts from World War II by visiting Pearl Harbor is, quote, wishful thinking. Can Japan really turn this page without reconciliation from China and other countries it victimized in Asia?
In the past few years, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has tried very hard to win the hearts and minds of the people in the United States. For example, he visited the United States and spoke to the U.S. Congress, and he rushed to meet with President-elect Donald Trump, and now he's in Pearl Harbor. He would like to show to the people in the United States that, well, Japan is reconciled with the U.S. And he thinks that if Japan can get away with, what Japan did during the Second World War by visiting the United States, by getting some understanding from the United States based on their alliance, he thinks that, well, he will get away with the Japan's responsibility for the World War II in Asia. But the question is, the people in Asia think differently.
All right, Mr. Jia Xiudong joining us from Beijing. Thank you for your perspective.